Welcome to Attunement with Courtney O'Keefe. I am your host, Courtney. Today is our final episode of season 1. It is also a very special episode because I am sort of mixing the story and the business background into one, and it is about my secret project that I am launching today. Hello? Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you for letting me know. Hi, Harper. I love you so much, sweetie pie. Your nurse told me what happened. Everything's gonna be okay? I love you so much. Okay. Thank you. I really appreciate the phone call. Okay. But the school nurse had just called me saying that Harper fell during an art class off of her stool and bumped her chin. And she just wanted to let me know that she was icing it. And then the way that the nurse just talked to her was so beautiful. She just said it's okay to cry and it's okay to be sad, which it is. And that's what the secret project is about. So honestly, that was like divine intervention to show that like everyone that touches our children are really important. Oh my God. That was just really beautiful. Excuse me, one moment. Anyway, I'm really excited because I am merging the story episode and the business background episode into my secret project launch episode. I'm going to share with you today what I've been working on for the last 8 months since April. This has been such a labor of love. I am launching my debut children's book, The Rainbow and Me, A Journey Through the Chakras. This is a Montessori meets whimsy guide to the chakras for children, helping them learn about their energy centers, and also a tool for parents, educators, caregivers that they can work with this book to help children identify their feelings, their emotions, tap into their body's energy, and see how you can help your child energetically. I wanted to create this for my girls as a tool that I could use with them. And I realized it will just be magical for everyone. And I knew I was going to write a children's book for a long time now. That's why it just feels so magically aligned that this is the last episode, because I was originally planning on launching this maybe in September or October, and things kind of fell through, things slowed down. And here we are today, 11/11. It was all meant to be. I'm going to read a little bit of the book in this episode, and I don't have a script for this. I'm kind of just like riffing and telling you the story. So I'm going to read you a little bit. I'm going to tell you kind of what's been going on, well, how I've worked on this, my process, because if you had told me a couple years ago I was going to write a book, I would have not believed in you. Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy how this is all working out. So for maybe a few years now, I kind of had this feeling that I was going to write a book. I just did not know what it was. My intuition was telling me and pushing me towards this avenue. The podcast, my first podcast, the Able podcast, and now this podcast, has really helped me open up my throat chakra. Writing is another form of working with your throat chakra. And using that muscle and working with it and podcasting and following my intuition and doing a bunch of things along the way has kind of led me magically to this space of writing my first children's book. Because I also have a feeling there's a lot of other books that will come out of me in the future. It's just been such a magical process working with divine crown space energy, because I believe creativity is divinely guided, especially projects like this. I was working with divine source energy the entire time I was working on this book, and it was very much an intuitive flow, beautiful experience that was never forced, was always fun and magical, except maybe towards the end when I was really stressed out about like, how am I going to promote this? How am I going to launch this? Do I need to contact bookstores? Do I need to do all these things? Because my ego kind of was talking to me, telling me it needs to be done a certain way, but I'm just following my intuition. I am self-publishing. I self-published this book. It is not in any bookstores right now. I am hoping that it picks up traction and bookstores will contact me or order from wholesale so that it can be in bookstores. But right now it's all purchased through a print-on-demand link, which is super special. So before I dive into any of the story, let me tell you a little bit about where this came from. I kind of mentioned that for years now, I thought I would create a book, a children's book. I knew it was going to be magical. I could energetically feel what this book felt like. And what's really interesting is last year in September, I went on a women's retreat in Mallorca, Spain, and things just got a little clearer on that retreat. I could feel the energy of this book. I didn't know exactly what it was going to be yet, but I also had this idea for the podcast come in, Attunement with Courtney O'Keefe. And this was what felt like a download. I talked a little bit about this in the Crown Chakra episode. And if you listen to the telepathy tapes, they recently did an episode all about creativity, and creativity being this like divinely having consciousness of its own. Ideas have their own consciousness and choose a creator and choose a human partner to bring these creations into the world, which I fully believe is true. So if you haven't listened to the Telepathy Tapes podcast episode yet on creativity, I highly recommend you do it because a lot of my process feels exactly like that episode. With this podcast, The Attunement with Courtney O'Keefe, I got a download one day. Literally, I was like coming out of the shower, I believe, and I had to write. This is what happens to me a lot of the times when I'm getting creative downloads. I will be doing mundane tasks or being really present or sitting with nature when I have ideas. This time I was like in the shower, coming out of the shower, and the entire idea of Attunement with Courtney O'Keefe came to me. And I wrote it down in my notes of like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go through all the chakras and have this be like a free resource. I had taken so many chakra courses and felt so connected to the chakras because this process of going through these energy centers has fully healed me in so many beautiful ways. And I do it over and over and over again and go deeper into my spiritual healing. It has been such a magical tool for me, and I just wanted it to be a free resource for everyone. And that idea came to me in a download just immediately. Like I had this knowing, this is what I'm going to do. This is what it's going to look like. And I had to like write it all down so I didn't forget. The same similar thing happened to me when I launched my Irreplaceable line back when I had the Able Press, of healing my sexual trauma wounds through the scarf and the storytelling and like the whole Irreplaceable line. I had a download. I remember I was playing with Piper on the floor. She was a baby at the time. And the download came through like, this is what you're going to do. So that was magical. The other time those are two specific times this download has happened to me. This time it happened as well with this book. And this was back in like March. I knew after I started the podcast, my book is going to be about chakras for children. And it's going to be something that you've never seen before. I personally have never seen a chakra book for children in any bookstores that I've been to, or I've never actively seen one come in front of my reality. So this was new to me. And since after creating my book, I've looked in to see if there's other chakra books, and there are, but there is nothing out there like what I have created. And I'm so proud of this. And it's going to make me emotional thinking about it, but this has truly been such a magical process for me. And I feel really vulnerable putting this out there. Creative projects, especially divinely guided creative projects, are such an intimate process. You put your heart and soul into them. And that's how I feel about this book. I've just never done anything like this before. I've never considered myself a writer, but I'm really proud of this project. It's such a beautiful way to share the chakras for children. It's so simple and magical, and there are tools for adults in the back of this book. It took me about 4 months to write the entire book. I very much did this in like a flow space and state. I did not like force myself to sit down and write. It was anytime I got inspiration, I would like type it in my notes app, and then later on would like set up a Google Doc and then write my manuscript for this book. And I really wanted it to rhyme. Rhyming was really important for me because I love children's books that rhyme. I just, as a parent, thoroughly enjoy reading rhyming children's books. I am also a huge fan of Montessori books. I love the photography of Montessori books. So we love Lovevery in our house, and I really enjoy those books because it's like real life situations for kids. And I just love the practicality of it and like the conversations that I have with my children after I read a Montessori book with them. So I really wanted it to be like whimsical and magical, but also practical. And I take you through each chakra in a practical and magical way with your child. And what's really cool is after this 4 months of writing, I sat down and I was like, okay, I know how I want it to feel. And now I got to think about how I want it to look. And obviously the first person that popped in my head was Sarah from Sarah Cross Creative. She has done my branding photography. She's done all of our family photography. I just love her so much. She is one of the most magical people ever. If you live in Glen Ellen, she was actually just in the Stroll magazine. She was featured with Patty from Your Local Gem. And she is just such a beautiful human. And I was like, I really want Sarah to do the photography for me because Montessori is all photography. So the photography was very important to me. So I set up a call with Sarah and I told her I read her the manuscript, and that was awesome. She loved it and was so excited to work on this with me. And I told her like how I want the shots to look like, and we made a shot list together. And one thing though that I came to her with is that I really don't want this to just be like pictures of my kids. I want all children to feel represented in this story, in this book. But I also did not want to hire models. So I came to her and I was like, this is my problem. Like, we can't just photograph my kids. I want a multitude of different people. And she's like, well, Courtney, you're an illustrator. Why don't you just illustrate over the photos? And that way you can have your own little characters in there. And I was like, and this is why I was supposed to reach out to you, because you were the missing puzzle piece in my creation process. It's so funny because I told Sarah this before I even had the book download. I had a dream where in my dream, I was working on another project with Sarah. And I remember texting her this. I was like, oh, I just had a dream about you and we were working on a project. And then after this call where I read her the manuscript, I was like, Sarah, this is the project I was talking about. And she's like, oh my gosh. And that was really fun aha moment. But her genius idea of illustrating on top of the photos has just made this book so magical, because I have not seen a children's book. I've never seen, and maybe there's one out there, but I've never seen one where there's illustrations on top of photography where it looks like this. So I wrote and illustrated this book, and my friend Sarah photographed everything for me in my own home and in our community. So it makes this book so special. And I cannot wait for you all to see it and have it in your hands and to feel it and to look at it, because it's truly something I'm so proud of. And working with Sarah on it was just the best ever. We did 2 photography days. We did one day inside where we photographed all the indoor pictures in our house. And then we did an outdoor photo shoot with all pictures in nature at the playground. Yeah, it was just so much fun. It was such a fun process. There is one photo, I have to share this because it was so funny. So we tried to color coordinate with all the chakras with like the different objects that were in the photos. And then I illustrated the characters in the colors as well. But for the heart chakra, there is one photo where we broke a vase. It was so funny because my kids were not home when I did this photo shoot, thank God, because even when they look through the book, Harper always asks, like, Mom, I cannot believe that you broke a vase for this. She's like, I loved that vase. I was like, Harper, I purchased this vase just to break it. Like, I don't think you've ever seen that vase. I have a video of me and Sarah like smashing a vase to take pictures of it. It was just such a fun, cathartic process, truly. And it's fun for the girls because I've read it to them a few times with like the print proofs that I got. Like Harper's stuffed animal is in it. And she's like, oh my gosh, Teddy's famous. Yeah, it's just a really fun experience. With that being said, I'm going to read to you like the first couple pages. I'm so excited. So, A Rainbow in Me, A Journey Through the Chakras. Written and illustrated by Courtney O'Keefe. Photography by Sarah Cross. And it's really fun. I have This Book Belongs To in the front because I love writing like little notes to whoever I'm giving books to. I have to read my little dedication page too. So this book is dedicated to my little ladies, Harper, Piper, and Juniper. May you always feel connected to the wisdom of your mind, body, and spirit. Okay, the first page. These are, it's a little hard to see, but these are all the chakras. There is a rainbow inside my body with colors I can feel. Each color has a message and spins just like a wheel. Let's take a journey together from the bottom to the top. Let's explore the rainbow that twirls and never stops. At the bottom of my spine, where I sit or stand up tall, is my root, the color red. It helps me not to fall. When I hug my parents, I know I'm not alone. When I'm cozy in my bed, I feel safe like a sturdy stone. When I run in the grass, I feel stable like a tree, connected to the earth. That's the red in me. So I'm going to stop there. But so that gives you an idea of like, so that's the root chakra. And let me show you the pictures for this one. We went to Lake Ellen to take pictures. So this was really fun. So that's our little root chakra character. And there's Teddy. And pictures in our house. These were just so fun to make. And then like, let me show you a little bit. Like this is the sacral character. So each chakra has a different character. Solar plexus. This was fun. We took this picture at Harper's Elementary School on the park. The heart chakra, throat chakra. While Sarah and I were out taking pictures, there was a little boy in a wheelchair, and that was a sign that I need to illustrate a child in a wheelchair. That felt really important to me. Third eye. Oh my gosh, this is one of my favorites because these hot air balloons are in Piper's bedroom. It used to be Piper's bedroom, but now Juniper's. We've had them in the nursery for quite some time now, and I love them so much. We got them on Etsy. And then the crown chakra. This one's Harper's favorite for obvious reasons. Okay, so it goes through all the chakras. And then in the back of the book, we have a Let's Explore Your Rainbow page where I have questions that you can ask your child to kind of feel into those energy centers and dive into that and have more deep conversations around those energy points and maybe see where you can lean in a little bit more to help work with your child's energy. And then I have affirmations for each chakra in the back. And then I have a chakra cheat sheet for parents too. So if you are someone who is not familiar with the chakras but would like to use this as a tool or resource, there's a page in the back that tells you about each one a little bit in more like adult language, I guess, and activities that you can do with your child to help support that chakra as well, which is so fun. I mean, I'm just like so excited. There's me on the back. If you listen to this whole episode, thank you so much. This has just been a magical journey for me. To purchase the book, please go to my website, www.ablealchemy.com/the-rainbow-in-me, the rainbow in me, or just if you go to my website, ablealchemy.com, there'll be a purchase page there too. These are all print on demand, so they will take a little bit longer to get to you. I'm not like some big distributor. I also did not invest in purchasing like a mass amount of copies. It's just way too expensive. I have truthfully invested so much time and energy and money into this already, and I didn't have the funds to fully purchase like a ton of books. It just wasn't in the plan. And so that being said, I don't know if like you were to order now, you would get them in time for the holidays. I have no idea. I did this all through self-publishing through Ingram Spark. And from what I have heard, it takes like 2 to 3 weeks to get a book when you purchase print on demand. So expect a longer time period. This is not Amazon. I purposely did not want to do this through Amazon. I really wanted a hardcover book. I did not want to do a soft cover. I just truly wanted something a little bit nicer. And they don't do those on Amazon. I also just wanted to be able to be featured in like indie bookstores, and they prefer Ingram Spark. So that's where we're going through. And just know that it does take much longer to get these in the mail as a caveat to purchasing. But thank you so much for listening. I feel like I'm really putting myself out there with this. This is a new experience for me. This is truly so magical, and it truly feels like another baby for me. I invested so much into this book, and I am so excited and grateful and happy. And please tell me if you get it and if you enjoy it. I just want everyone to love it as much as I do. And if you don't, that's fine also. It's not just mine anymore. It is all of ours. And that can be scary, but I love it so much. And I hope that you can feel the love and work and magic that I've put into this book. So thank you so much, not only for listening to this episode, but for listening to my podcast. Everything I do with so much intention and love and purpose. And I know there definitely will be a season 2 in the future. I don't know when or what that will look like. I'm waiting for the download, but know that it will probably come. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, check me out at Able Alchemy. I'm going to try to be more active on TikTok too. Thank you so much for being on this creative journey with me and listening to me every week. It has truly been so much fun creating these episodes, and I hope that you have gotten something out of them. I hope you've received change and healing and something out of this listening experience, because that was my goal. We're ending at 222 over here. So thank you so much. I love you all deeply and dearly. I will see you sometime in the future for season 2. Visit ablealchemy.com to download your free chakra journal and to learn more about Able Alchemy. This is a place where your dreams and reality align through services like tarot and astrology readings, sound bath sessions, and intuitive branding for businesses looking to align with their manifestations and purpose through soul-led studies such as astrology, business energy analysis, and chakra color theory. Follow along with Able Alchemy on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Please rate, review, and subscribe if you enjoyed the show. Thank you so much for listening, and see you next time.